really
your progressives are a little out of whack.
It's a little blurry on the trash copy, it says.
Yeah.
Copy. So, trash copy. Why don't you, but it has your name next to it, so why don't you tell us about what it is?
So this is me fighting and potentially winning through another play of God of War on the most difficult setting.
Why do you say potentially?
Well, it's give it all away. That's
For it to be spoiled, there would have to be a person who cared.
Okay.
No. But you already know the answer. But you don't want to spoil it for yourself?
Indeed.
Spoiler alert, I win.
So I like to move the goalposts
for you.
in one man's trash. When
You're gonna die alone.
I start on one spot, and then if I can get that far, then I try something else. So let's see how far I get.
Let's do it.
Welcome to another edition of One Man's Trash, where I call Sisyphus a lazy asshole. Today I'm talking to you from deep inside the bowels of God of War, where I fired it back up and playing on the Give Me God of War, the hardest difficulty. And this difficulty is no joke.
This again.
I read where they were saying they wanted to make a game that was harder than Neo, and I think they may have done it. Even on the normal setting, which I think they call balanced, it's still not easy by any means. And the next difficulty, the Give Me a Challenge, is definitely a challenge. Give Me God of War, they have the enemies react differently, they have more poison effects that they have, they do way more damage and take way less damage from you like normal, but it's also just behavioral changes too. Basically, all of the fights suck, and the fights that sucked before really suck. But if you always have a resurrection stone, and you're patient, and you don't care about your time, eventually you're going to beat the game. And then it's time to fight the Valkyries, where the real fun starts. Because that means Muspelheim and Niflheim. Muspelheim I hate. It sucks. It smells bad, it looks bad, it's no fun to be in, and the challenges, why would you be a God of War and make a challenge where you can't get hit? That's just dumb. But anyway, eventually you fight your way through all the challenges, then you do the impossible challenges, and you fight the Valkyrie, which also sucks, but eventually you're tearing the wings off that Valkyrie. So then you go on to Niflheim, and Niflheim I don't mind as much. It also smells bad and sucks, but it's at least a real grindy area where you can keep going around and get better and better stuff. Muspelheim, if you don't do the challenge or don't like the way it's set up, you just can't progress. That's why I think that place sucks. But anyway, when you're in Niflheim and you're fighting through everything, you gotta fight a Valkyrie there. And that Valkyrie is only hard because you gotta get to it. But again, eventually you're ripping off Niflheim's Valkyrie wings, and that sets up the final challenge once you beat all the other Valkyries with their kind of easy. Then it's Sigrid, the queen of the Valkyries. And this sucks. Sigrid's moves are basically all of the hardest, cheapest, and most powerful moves from all the other Valkyries, plus a few new ones and a little wrinkles. But unlike most of the others, she doesn't really have a progression. She changes up her progressions. So you have to sort of memorize all of her attacks, know which ones you can parry, which ones you can block, which ones you have to dodge, and which ones you have to throw your axe at to interrupt. Because unlike all the other difficulties, you can't shoot arrows at Sigrid to interrupt when she flies up in the air. So that's fun. And she hits really, really hard. Eventually I figured out that this fight wasn't so much beat Sigrid as it was survive this fight for about 10 minutes, hitting her every now and then, which is not easy to do. Basically, you can't make more than one mistake every couple minutes, and then you have to get a little lucky. And after literally probably 100 tries, I got lucky a couple of times. I got pretty far. One time I thought I really was going to make it, but that wasn't right. One time Chris Hartley came in and interrupted me, and I got super mad and almost broke another controller, but I didn't that time. I mean, I did earlier when I was at my house, but not here in the office.
You lost control.
Sometimes just the cheap architecture of the room fucks you. And then one time I had a really good run, and I got lucky twice. Well, the one really wasn't luck. I was trying to turn my Spartan Rage off, which made me sort of freeze for a second. Sigrid did the jump down from above and smash you, so instead of getting killed, I just lost all my Spartan Rage. The second time I really did get lucky. I threw my axe to interrupt the jump up in the air and spin around and come down with the unblockable kill you death ray attack, and I missed with my axe, and I was like, oh shit, and I ran sort of forward to try to change the angle and see if I could get her on the rebound, and I did, and eventually I beat her, and I didn't even have to use my resurrection stone. And then I realized that there was some hinky shit going on with the capture device, but I still got most of the capture in, so trust me, it came through. You see, tearing the wings off, talking to her, getting the goodies, everything's fine.
No, you did not. You really did? No way.
So now the only thing that's left is to go back and get all the Ravens, which I missed about 10 or 12 this time. I think I got 1 or 2 more artifacts, and then I'll re 100% of the game just in time for the new Game Plus mode that comes out at the end of the month, which I guess maybe is a new difficulty. I'm not really sure how that's going to work, but there's going to be new armor and new collectibles, so that'll be another one man's trash.
We are not men. We are more than that.
If you got something fun or dumb for me to do in a video game, hit me up on Twitter @StupidGill and let me know.
This was no easy feat.
Pretty fucking great.
That was